up, guys? Thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and let's recap and review Married to Medicine. This is season 10, episode 12. So let's get into it. All right, y'all. So before we get into it, just a quick announcement. It looks like episode 13 of Married to Medicine will not be premiering until February the 18th. They are delaying Real Housewives of Potomac as well as Married to Medicine's episode or upcoming episodes due to this Sunday being the Super Bowl. So if you were looking for it, don't look for it because it's not going to be on until the 18th. Let's get into this episode. So everyone's pulling up to Cecil and Simone's house. That is where everyone is supposed to meet so they can all pile in onto the Sprinter and take the 4.5-hour trip down to Hilton Head, South Carolina. So we have 3 couples get there on time, which is Eugene and Toya, then Alicia and Kima, and then what's his name? Sweet Tea and Gregory. They're there. They eating Panera Bread. I would have killed to get me a bagel or a muffin. I don't know. That's honestly the best part about Panera Bread is actually the bread. The meals don't be hitting. Like a sandwich that got barely any meat on it shouldn't be $14. Okay, but you know their lemonades and they like passion fruit tea is actually good. So they're waiting. Simone's getting increasingly annoyed because she's like, okay, where's Jackie? Where's Heavenly? Like, everybody's here on time. What's going on? So they call Heavenly first. Heavenly has an attitude and she's like, you know what? I'm not coming. Curtis don't want to go. I don't think it's right. Y'all could have changed the place. Just giving a lot of fever and a lot of energy towards the ladies, mainly Simone. And Simone was like, girl, what? So then Toya takes the phone and Toya's like, you really not coming, Heavenly, because Jackie and Curtis don't want to go? And she's like, yeah. And Toya's like, you don't think that's incredibly childish, like in some high school stuff? And Heavenly's like, no, Curtis don't want to be there. He don't want y'all bringing up that stuff. I don't want to go. So she hangs up. Everyone's kind of like, okay, so let's contact Jackie. So they call Jackie. Jackie pretty much is like, she wants to go. You can tell that she wants to go, but she's trying to stick beside her husband because Curtis don't really want to go. So she's just kind of like, yeah, I don't think we're going to make the trip. And you actually hear her voice crack and you can hear that she's getting real emotional. And Simone is getting upset because she's really frustrated that Jackie doesn't want to come. She also doesn't like this perception that like they're trying to do anything malicious toward, like that Simone would do this maliciously. Toya grabs the phone again and she tells Jackie, she's like, Jackie, you really not coming? Like, you really not coming, girl? Like, just come. Like, we're not going to bring up what happened between you and your husband. Like, honestly, him cheating did not affect our lives in any way or put a pivotal impact on us. So why would we care to bring up your marriage? Like, just come. And she's just like, no, I'm not coming. And then she hangs up. So it's time for them to leave Cecil and Simone's house to get on the road. So they actually see Phaedra pull up. Now, Toya did make a comment like, girl, where her man and why is she coming on a couple's trip? And Simone ends up saying Phaedra could do whatever she wants. Now, some people took issue with that, but I don't see why when Simone and the other ladies really weren't harping on the fact that Quad didn't have a man. It was really Toya and Mariah who were always like, she don't need to be on this show and she don't need to be on these couples trip if she don't got a man. So I didn't see the people being upset with Simone thing. It didn't make sense to me. But they all pile on the Sprinter. They start making jokes, taking shots. I think Toya said something about she was going to put something in Phaedra's butt. And then Eugene ends up telling this crazy story about when he was in school where they had to do like it was kind of like figure out how a patient passed away, like how to do deductive reasoning and all that stuff. And they were like, it was a body face down with nothing but dildos around it. And they found out that the man would take Crisco, lather up the dildo but put cocaine on it and then stick it in his rectum. Well, the last time he did it, he had one of them them gargantuan that I low-key don't understand how anybody that is human can stick that inside themselves. One of those gargantuan dildos, and he put too much cocaine on it and he died of an overdose. So everyone's like, girl, what? But honestly, if you watch the show on TLC, I don't know if they still run it. Sometimes they do on the weekends, called like Sex Sent Me to the ER. They be it crazy. The crazy story was the girl that gave herself hypothermia by putting a popsicle in her hoo ha, and I was like, "Girl, what?" It was crazy. It was crazy. But like I was shocked, but I was still like, people do be doing crazy things. There's a man that's an EMT on TikTok that anytime people see like new things that they might deem like they want to stick their what in or try out on themselves, he'd be like, don't do it. Please don't do it. Because please don't do it. So they're all having a good time. They're taking shots on the bus. Then Simone brings up, what can your husband do to make this trip be perfect or to start off this trip perfectly? And Sweet Tea said something, book the next one. I laughed at that. And then I don't know how they got onto it, but then they started talking about, somebody getting a box ate out. And then Kima saying that people in that, like, in his culture, in Nigerian culture or whatever, I think he was born in Nigeria, but he was raised in Jamaica, that they don't do that. That's not part of what they do culturally. I said, sir, what? What are you talking about? That I was like, okay, so Alicia, he wants you to be his dog because he has to train you, because he said that in the kitchen, like he has Alicia trained, but he not giving you no fellatio. Girl, that feels like a raw deal to me. I was like, more and more, Alicia, you look stupid and your husband look lame. So they then started talking about Jackie and Jackie and Curtis again. And Eugene and Toya bring up a good point where they were like, no one has ever thrown in Jackie and Curtis's face about the whole cheating situation other than Heavenly. And then they go to a flashback on their last couple's trip where Heavenly, they're doing that whole like mirror exercise where you look at your partner and she's like, Jackie asks Curtis, what did she have that I didn't have? No one else was pressuring Jackie to do that other than Heavenly. So I find it funny that Heavenly right now is being a bulldog for Jackie, but in them earlier seasons, Heavenly was trying Jackie left and right, and Jackie was trying Heavenly. So it's kind of like, girl, what? Okay. So they finally get to Hilton Head. The house is actually really cute. I was with Toya, like, why is the pool on the front of the house? Like, I was like, yeah, that's kind of awkward. And so I don't know if the house, I feel like the angle of the house that they showed us, maybe the pool is like on the side of the house, but that technically is still the front of the house. I wouldn't have liked it either. They get into the house. They actually have a chef that's there. I definitely would have loved to try his food because them devil eggs look good. And then the swamp punch he had, which I think he was like, it's tea, lemonade, ginger beer, and I think he was like some other type of alcohol. I bet you it tasted good because it looked good. And so they're all like going to get their rooms. You see Phaedra not wanting to carry her luggage up the steps, which I wouldn't want to do that either. But two of the guys carried her luggage. I think it was Gregory and Kima, because I think that's where most of them, like that group, is staying. So Kima makes a thing about like Alicia could learn from Phaedra to Alicia, because I guess Phaedra is very feminine and soft. But the thing about it is Phaedra plays into that. Like, we know for a fact that Phaedra does that to get like I think Kima's a dummy. I really do, because it's like, you can't tell that that's not Phaedra's real personality, that the whole like souped up like sex kitten, like damsel in distress type of energy, like, I'm a Southern belle but I'm a slut kind of energy, is not like really who Phaedra is. Like, you can't tell by that. And then your wife in the confessional sounds stupid as hell, talking about, my husband is the head but I'm the neck. Girl, what? I really feel like she doesn't believe the stuff that be coming out of that man's mouth, or she's trying herself to like bend herself into like what he wants her to be, but it doesn't like resonate with her. Like, there are women out there, because there's that whole new trend of people wanting to be trad wives that will be what men want them to be. Same way there's men out there that will be what women want them to be. You just have to find it. I saw a comment online that like pretty much sums up Alicia, where it's like Alicia wanted to be married so bad she took whatever. And then in the confessional, Kima got molded when they were talking about like the whole, fellatio of it all, where he was like, oh, Alicia don't even really like that. And she was like, no, you could be down there more. And he was like, oh, yeah. I'm like, yeah, you're not perfect. You are not. And you think you are. And it's like, it's weird. It's weird. Because it's like, bro, no, ma'am. First of all, you can't fix nothing. Alicia called you she called you less of a man. So we know you don't be doing nothing at the house that is remotely related to being manly. And now you not putting your face down there. Yeah. Yeah, no ma'am. No ma'am. So they decide for their first night in Hilton Head, they're going to have a seafood broil. So they're all outside. They're putting down the newspaper on the table to eat. And as they're about to get ready to eat, next thing you know, you see Jackie, Heavenly, Damon, and Curtis pull up. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, like they look genuinely shocked. Like I guess they really didn't think that they were going to come. So they were actually surprised that they were there. So you see Simone hugging them and like, everyone's happy to see him and they sit down to eat. And so Heavenly was like, so what y'all been talking about since we've been gone? And Toya said, girl, we talked about y'all like dogs. Said Toya. And they actually show a flashback where they were speaking about them on the Sprinter as they were driving down, where they were just like, Heavenly is childish and this doesn't make any sense. So the Heavenly was like, I did what I thought was right for my friend. I felt like this was wrong and all of this. So then I think this is when Simone speaks up. No, not after Simone speaks up. Sweet Tea speaks up, where she pretty much says that she doesn't think it's fair that Jackie and Curtis didn't really want to come and didn't want to be in the hot seat, but everybody else can be in the hot seat. And then Curtis does this whole speech about like, we didn't want to come down here because we didn't want to have a conversation about it. So then next thing you know, Jackie ends up saying like to Sweet Tea, I'm always in the hot seat. I'm in the hot seat when I'm delivering babies. I'm in the hot seat when I see a woman that has a baby that I can't have. I'm in the hot seat every time I'm at work. And then you got Phaedra in the back. Amen. Woo, Lord. That's right. I said, Phaedra, shut up. And I mean, I got what Jackie was saying, but it is kind of interesting. She said, I'm in the hot seat every time I see a woman have a baby that I can't have. And a lot of people felt like that was the reason why Dr. Jackie somewhat lacks like compassion or empathy when it came to that 3-year-old video that resurfaced about how she felt about Black women when it came to like being pregnant and all of that stuff. So I was just like, I don't know, them people might have been true, but Sweet Tea took it. And then next thing you know, Simone talks about how I just need to say this. No, like, and even Cecil spoke up. Cecil was like, we were not coming down here to talk trash about y'all or to open up wounds. Then Simone jumps in and she was like, I would never do that. Like, I would never do that to you. Like, me and my husband been married for 26 years. And then Cecil said, 27, I need all my years. Where he was like, we've been married for that long. For 27 years, we wouldn't be married without y'all, i.e. Curtis and Jackie. Why would I want to hurt y'all in that way? And you can tell that Simone really meant it because she was getting emotional. And then I think Jackie was like, I received that and I understand that. Then Heavenly jumps in, and then Heavenly and Simone start to go back and forth about it. Because the truth of the matter is, we know production is the reason why they're down there. Like, I honestly don't think that Simone nor nor Cecil or anybody else were like thinking about Curtis cheating on Jackie or cared about wherever he cheated on her with. Like, it happened almost 6 or 7 years ago. Jackie chose to stay with him. So it is what it is. I think it's actually quite idiotic and stupid for you to be mad that y'all are going to another state where your man cheated if you chose to be with him again. Like, you accepted him back when honestly you could have divorced him and moved on with your life, had adopted a child that you wanted because Curtis didn't want to adopt children, and been where you wanted to be. But to like sit here and y'all be like, we not trying to open up wounds and we don't want y'all talking about it. Like Toya said, the fact that y'all were harping on it so much, it's making us talk about it by your reaction. You see what happened with Megan's song? Had Had Nicki not said nothing, we wouldn't be caring. But because she protested too much, everybody wanted to listen to the song and wanted to listen to it out of spite, out of the way Nicki was behaving. Same way with this situation. No one really cared about Hilton Head until y'all made it a thing. I genuinely think they was like, okay, we going to Hilton Head. It is what it is. You the one that's like, that's where he cheated. Okay. But you took him back. So you have to accept that. You're not going to stay in Georgia when we know Curtis probably cheated in Georgia. And then on top of that, it's starting to make people really look at Jackie and Curtis, because everyone's like, why is Curtis always in the DR now? Like, what's happening in the DR? Like, someone was like, do he got a family in the DR? Someone said they got like a son down there. I don't know what's going on in the DR. Either way, if they would not have protested too much with the added sprinkle of Heavenly, then we would not be having this situation. So, Simone and Heavenly get loud. They get loud. So they arguing hard at one another, okay? To the point where it's one of the neighbors out there with his phone recording. I said, oh, that's something I would do. I ain't even gonna lie. And they're like, let's take this on the inside, because it seems like the neighbors might be getting they can hear us. So they go inside. Everyone has their bowl. Phaedra's like, let us pray. Oh, reggae no more. And all that stuff. And they're all sitting down eating. And then I think Eugene is the one that spoke up and was like, I kind of feel some type of way, because it's like, are y'all saying that this place, like the state of South Carolina, isn't safe for y'all? Or are y'all saying we as your friends are not safe with y'all, because we would never do nothing like that? And he got a point. It's like, what are you really afraid of? Are you afraid of talking about the situation? And maybe they really haven't gotten past it, because it don't seem like Curtis and Jackie went to therapy. It just seemed like they decided we gonna just rise above it and keep going on with life, which that's not the best way to go. And because going down to South Carolina should not reignite any issues that y'all have. Like, as long if Curtis ain't cheating no more, then there shouldn't be a reason why you're upset. You know what I mean? So Jackie ends up saying like, no, if y'all would get out y'all feelings and think of this, it got anything to do with y'all, it's us. It's like, we had to have a talk. We had to work through our feelings to get down here. And then Sweet Tea chimes in, which you can tell that Curtis was getting irritated with Sweet Tea, because he was like, okay, we was going to end the night on a more positive note. We were all going to be good. It was going to be positive. And then Sweet Tea speaks up and she was like, it's hard for me to be empathetic towards you when you were making fun of my situation with Gregory. And then they show a flashback where I guess Jackie made like a slick joke about, is this the hotel that Curtis had the girlfriend at, or is the girlfriend that Curtis dated coming? But I think that joke was possibly in reference to Quad and Phaedra bringing Quad. So here's my thing, Sweet Tea. Here's my thing. I think Sweet Tea's feelings and her reasoning for being mad at Jackie was valid. But if it's like, you gonna have all this heat for Jackie, where is it for Phaedra? Like, why aren't you getting at Phaedra? Phaedra brought Quad to your bachelorette party. So if we're talking about the bachelorette party, why you not arguing with her? So then Alicia was trying to tell Sweet Tea, like, girl, let it go. And it kind of reminded me of how Sweet Tea was arguing with on that live when she told Heavenly that her mama was in hell. Like I said, Alicia was trying to tell Sweet Tea, like, girl, just let it go. Like, we'll revisit it. And Sweet Tea gets visibly upset. She's like, no, because I guess she feels like the group doesn't validate her feelings, or she feels invalidated, because she said something like, I'm sick of being tired. And you could tell she was getting upset. And I was like, okay. So then Jackie was like, okay, baby, say what you got to say, baby girl. Say what you got to say. And Sweet Tea says, you know what, F you. And then she calls her a bitch to Jackie. And everyone's like, whoa. And then you hear people laughing. Cecil's like, oh my God, girl, really? And honestly, y'all, Sweet Tea is just very underwhelming, and she doesn't hit for me. She really doesn't. I think her feelings were valid with how she feels about Jackie? Yes. I do feel like, okay, if you can joke on the situation that my husband had where he cheated on his wife, cheated, cheated on his wife, cheated on Quad. Why can't we talk about what happened with you and Curtis? But I think the way Sweet Tea went about it made her look childish. And it's like, girl, she just doesn't mesh for me. It's giving it's giving delayed. I think that's the thing about it, like, and not saying like mental capacity, because I don't want to be like, ooh, are you caught? No, it's just like, it felt delayed. It felt like, girl, that's not what you needed to give. Because I was with her when she was like, no, like, even at the dinner table, when she was like, no, it's not fair that you don't want to be in the hot seat when we've all been in the hot seat. And it's like, yeah, you're right, Jackie should be in the hot seat, but it's just like that it's kind of like you went too far, and now it's like you missed the point, girl. Like, no one's feeling the point. Like, they were laughing at you. So then Gregory, I also think he was messed up, because it didn't seem like he had Sweet Tea's back. But he was like, okay, I'm not really happy that she called you that, Jackie. But also, this is my baby girl. It's kind of like he was like she was his child. And I was like, that's the other part. Sweet Tea's like age reads don't hit when you married somebody older than your father. And then when you be trying to clock these women's ages, it's like, well, ma'am, your husband's older than a few of them. I think he's like 56 and the rest of them are like 54, 53. So it's like, how do you get along with him, but you can't get along with his peers? That doesn't make sense to me. It also doesn't make sense to me that it's like, why would it's better for Gregory to have people who are his age that are his friends than him having friends that are your age. That would be creepy, because I'd be like, why can't you have friends that are your age, sir? But it was just like, shut up with the age reads. You married your granddaddy. You married your daddy. Hush, girl. Like, give me something else than that. Like, when you right, but when you wrong, you really are wrong, sis. So she gets emotional. They leave. Everyone goes to their room. She starts crying in the room, talking about she was trying to protect Gregory. But Gregory's sitting on the bed like, girl, you did too much. And I'm like, in what way have they really came at you, Sweet Tea? They have their little quips about Quad and this, but then it's also like, I don't really have that much sympathy for Sweet Tea, because you chose to be a part of a show with Quad's friend group, or her used to be friend group. So of course they're going to bring up Quad and compare you to Quad. And it's her show. She's been on the show. She was on the show since season 1. They're going to bring her up. So like, if you weren't prepared for that, then I don't know why be on the show. So it's the next day. Sweet Tea and Gregory are talking about it. She's planning on apologizing to Jackie, because she's like, that's not who I am. That's not how I am. You then see Alicia, Kima, Eugene, and Toya sitting down while Eugene is making eggs for everybody, because the chef that they had prior, he hadn't gotten to the not establishment, but to the house yet. And Eugene pretty much spoke up, and even Cecil spoke up. Cecil said, he was like, I get it, people joking on you all the time and joning on you, you definitely feel like you can get some get back. And then Eugene ends up saying like, well, because I think Toya was like, I wasn't ready for the FUB of it all. And Eugene was like, well, she tried to sun her with the, the grandma look, like, I'ma handle you, baby girl type of look. And I was like, well, yeah, you got a point. Because Jackie did say, I'ma handle you. And Sweet Tea was like, I don't need no handling. And it's like, it's kind of like Sweet Tea does need handling, though. I'm not saying by Jackie, but what I am saying is Sweet Tea is raw with her expressions and her emotions, which is good for TV. But it's like, there's like a lack of self-awareness that is kind of like, girl, that's very naive. And you like, how are you this way? That's what I think that's what's bothering me. And why I don't really see it for Sweet Tea, and why I think she's kind of like a dud. Like, she just doesn't work for me, is because it's like your quips and your responses to these ladies aren't matching up. Like, don't get me wrong. Like I keep saying, she had every right to voice how she felt. I thought she was making valid points, but then she lost me when she was like, FUB. And it was like, Jackie not even giving you that energy. It was clear as day that Jackie was being nice nasty, but it was like, girl, you should have read the room and been nice nastier. Or like honestly, when Jackie would have been like, we just gonna have to have a talk, baby girl, because I'm gonna handle it. And I'd been like, I don't need handling. I would have said I don't need handling, but I definitely would like to have a conversation with you so you can understand my point of view, and left it at that. But when you was like FUB, it pretty much it was like a miscalculated step because everyone in the room was just like, girl, what? Because she wasn't giving you that. She was giving you rah-rah energy, but a different way. Now, had you been arguing with Heavenly, yes, everybody would have been like, okay, because Heavenly be giving that energy, but Jackie gives like, she gives quiet you know, like you know what I mean? So it didn't hit. Like Sweet Tea is in her 30s, but she argues like a 20-year-old. And it's like, I know somebody in the military, you know how to argue with people. You know how to get one of your superiors off your back. And you're telling me you couldn't get Jackie off of you. And on top of that, you're Southern. You telling me you ain't never had to get one of the church mothers together. It's been maybe 2 times I had to check somebody's mama at church. And I did it so nice and nasty that when they tried to say something to my mom and dad about it, my parents were like, what she, like, that's all she said? Yeah, but you felt what I said. Miss Georgianne definitely felt what I said. So I'm just like, it just don't hit. She just don't hit for me. So for today's activities, we see the girls are going to go play golf and the guys are going to go cooking. We have a scene with Heavenly, Simone, and Jackie in the bathroom as Simone is getting her makeup done, where initially it's just Simone and Heavenly apologizes to Simone. Simone somewhat takes it, but she was like, you gotta stop being a bulldog for Jackie. Jackie comes in and she's just like, yeah, it's like, you know, I'm glad you guys are back on track. And I'm just like, if I was Simone, I definitely would not want to be Jackie's friend, because if we've been friends for 20 years, but you let this broad come up in here and try me to this extent, yeah, I would look at you differently. We would not be that close. So we then see the girls pile into the Sprinter and they're on their way to what's it called? On the way to play golf. Simone makes a comment where she was like, yeah, I was embarrassed by last night. It was a lot going on. And then Sweet Tea decides to apologize to Jackie. Legit, Jackie pretty much said in a professional way, the door is closed. The door is closed. Shout out to Nene. Because she said, you know, apologies are for you. Not for yourself, like not for the person you're apologizing to. She ended up telling because Sweet Tea was like, I'm an empath and that's not my character. And I was just like, yeah, girl. Because like Dr. Jackie is going to hold on to you telling her to F you, saying F you and calling her a B. Because she said that she was like, I've never had someone say F you to me and call me a B. So yeah, I said, yeah, girl, the door, and everyone in their confessional is like, Jackie not fooling with her no more. Jackie is not fooling with her no more. We then see the men. They're going to go take cooking classes, and Kima is just annoying. I hope him and Alicia do not come back next season, because he is just so annoying. His views are so archaic and stupid. Talk about like his dad would kick him out the kitchen. And I hate that he tries to add like it's cultural when it's not. When I have friends who are African, who are Jamaican, who like their fathers cook and clean, take care of the kids, like they are like, it's weird. He is really holding true to like he's not allowed to do certain things that he deemed as womanly because of his culture, and I think that's really messed up. And I also think it's pretty crazy that he thinks it's okay to say, and that's because Alicia lets him think it's cute, and it's not cute. And it's like, you would think that as a man being in this day and age in the year 2024, you would know to keep them things to yourselves or write that in your diary, sir, because you are not gonna get far with the ladies. Especially when we see the preview for next episode where that man said, I trained my wife, and Jackie is like, dogs are what you train. I said, yeah. Again, there's no way I'm going to be a doctor and my husband is telling me he had to train me. I'm not a fucking dog, bro. So, But yeah, y'all, that is it. That is all. Remember to be bravely authentic. Definitely hop down in them comments below. And I'm out, y'all. Deuces.